Peace and love, NOVALIFE Diaries, man. One thing I'm gonna talk about today is like real life values, like values that you leave for your kids and your family and everything, right? And so here's a backstory to me, like how I came up. I never grew up with my father, even though my father was there. Like I never grew up with him. You know what I mean? Like my mom left me when I was like maybe like 5 or 6 for the States, right? And they was never together for a while before that. So my mom left me, so I was staying with my grandma the whole time. And I'll go back and forth with my dad, like I'll go stay over there for the summer or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like we was there, but we wasn't there, if that makes any sense, right? But I mean, he was around, so I don't want to get that misconstrued or nothing like that, right? But what I really wanted to talk about was it's just like values that you leave or you get from your parents, and values that you feel like after a while, when it comes to your parents or your family members and everything that you deal with, like the type of values that you get from them, right? So one thing I wanted to talk about was like the fact that even though I didn't grow up with my mom, I grew up with my grandma. And that's the one thing about an African family, right? It's a collective society. That's what we call it. It's a collective society. So it's like you could not grow up with your mom and still have all the right values and everything that you need to be successful or be a great human being, right? Because success is like subjective. But it's a funny thing. So I never grew up with my dad. I grew up with my dad, but I didn't grow up with my dad. And not until literally the last year of his life is when we had like, and I'll keep it funky, like I might tear up a little bit of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna lie, I might tear up a little bit, but not until the last year that he was around. Not until that last year is when I really got like the values that I needed from him, right? We talk all the time over the phone, like, a couple times a year and everything, right? But he came and stayed. He died maybe 2 months before he came to stay with me for a whole month, right? And the crazy thing is, you know how God works, the world works. The fact that my dad died 2 months before he came to spend a whole month with me. And I hadn't spent a month with my dad for years and years. I'm talking like over 10, 15 years type stuff, right? So that month that he came to stay with me, I was able to pick up on all the values that I was supposed to have as a kid from him, right? How to move around people, how to treat people, how to move around, how to move up in ranks, how to, deal with people is in a better position than you, how to network, how to, it's just different values like that I got from him that I kind of had, but I didn't have it to the level that he had it, because my dad was a very popular person as well, right? But to the level that he had it, like it'd be something small, like, hey, listen, if we sit down in at a party, and then they got the food ready, you don't get up immediately with everybody running to go get a food. You sit down, just wait. Just sit down, wait, whilst everybody's done, and you can go grab your food. Something simple as that, right? But it shows authority, shows you have a different way about you, right? You go to people's houses, don't really drink their water and stuff like that. Simple things, simple cues. When you're dealing with people and the person is at a higher level, you got to find a way to be of value to that person, or you got to show the person, like you gotta mess with their ego a little bit, right? Attain to their ego. Like gas them up a little bit, but in a real way though. You get what I'm saying? Because they are in a better position than you, right? But it's different values that I never got from my pops that I got later, and different values that I never got from my moms. And my mom is one thing. Her biggest thing is, she don't trust people. I don't know why. She's been like that, right? So she was like, you keep things in the family. You keep any problems that you have within the family, because 9 times out of 10, it's not going to leave the family, right? But if you tell friends, the probability you falling out with a friend is way higher than you falling out with a family member. And if anything, if you got to beef with a family member, 9 times out of 10, it's going to stay within the family because it's family problems, right? But if you got beef with a friend, they're gonna go tell somebody else about the beef that they got with you, and now your shit starts spreading. You know, so it's like different things that they give me, right? But the funny thing is the fact that I didn't really receive these things until I was like a little bit older, right? So, and it's funny because I didn't feel like I was missing anything, right? I didn't lose any core values, how to treat people, because I grew up with my grandma and my aunt, right? But I never lost any core values of how to treat people, how to move around people. So it's like with Africa, with Africans, us being a collective society, like I said, you get different, you get the, let's call it the starting 5 values that you need, right? But the more you deal with your parents and your father and stuff, they give you game, they give you, you know, cheat codes to maneuver in life and be more successful or move better, right? But that was on my mind. I wanted to share with y'all niggas, man. But I appreciate it. Peace and love, man. Nova Life living.